They say home is where the heart is. But what if your home becomes the reason your heart breaks? Last Friday, I sold the house my parents built with their own hands. I didn't tell anyone, not even my sister, Emily. Tonight, at our family dinner, she smiled across the table and said, "Mom and Dad promised I could move in with you." I took a slow sip of water, feeling their eyes on me. Then I said it, calm, steady, final. "That's awkward. I sold the house last Friday." The silence that followed was heavier than any scream, because what they didn't know was why I sold it and who I became because of it. When people looked at my sister, Emily, they saw perfection. The golden hair, the easy laughter, the sparkle that seemed to make every room brighter. When they looked at me, at Claire, they saw the shadow standing beside her light. We grew up in a quiet suburban neighborhood outside Portland. A blue house with white shutters, a porch swing Dad built himself, and a mother who ruled our lives with a smile that never quite reached her eyes. From the very beginning, it was Emily this, Emily that. Emily got straight A's. Emily made the cheer squad. Emily got invited to senior prom. And me? I was the reliable one, the invisible glue that kept things running. The one who stayed home when Mom got sick. Who cooked dinner when Dad worked late. Who paid the bills when Mom forgot. No one noticed. No one ever asked how I was doing. After college, I stayed close to home, working as a nurse at the local hospital. Emily, on the other hand, moved to California, chasing her dream of being a wellness influencer. She posted pictures of avocado toast and sunsets, while I sat beside Mom's hospital bed, watching the machines breathe for her. When Mom passed away, Emily flew in, hugged everyone through her perfect tears, and then asked, "What's going to happen to the house?" Dad couldn't meet my eyes. He said softly, "We'll keep it. For family." But family was just a word now, fragile like glass. Years passed, and Emily rarely called. But when she did, it was always the same. "Can you send me some money, Claire? Just until my brand deal comes through." Or, "You're lucky you have the house. You don't know what stress feels like." She didn't know the truth. That I worked double shifts just to keep that house standing. That Dad's medical bills had drained every cent. And still, when he passed, the will said, "The house shall be shared equally between my daughters. Half hers, half mine." Of course. I remember sitting in the lawyer's office, hands trembling, watching Emily grin through tears and whisper, "See? Dad always wanted us to be together." But she didn't want to share the house. She wanted to own it, just like she owned every part of my childhood. It was 3 months after Dad's funeral when Emily called. Her voice was light, but I could hear something underneath. That familiar sweetness she used when she wanted something.
"Hey, sis.
"So,
I've been thinking," she said.
I want to move back home. Start fresh. Maybe live in the house for a while." I paused, staring at the living room walls I'd just repainted myself. The same walls that had heard every fight, every secret, every apology that came too late. "Emily, it's not a good time," I said carefully. "I'm barely keeping up with." She cut me off. "Come on, Claire. Mom and Dad wanted us to be here. Together." Together. The word felt like a bruise. That night, I walked through the house, each creaking floorboard whispering their voices. Mom's perfume still lingered faintly in her closet. Dad's old slippers were under the couch. I had tried so hard to keep it alive, but the house had become a museum of pain. A week later, I found an envelope taped to the door. Emily's handwriting. It read, "Mom and Dad promised me I could move in when I was ready. You wouldn't keep me out of my own home, would you?" My stomach twisted. She'd been talking to their old friends, telling everyone how selfish I'd become. I was the villain now. Then came the worst part, a call from the family lawyer. "Miss Parker, your sister is requesting a legal review of the property division. She believes your father verbally promised her exclusive rights to the home." I sat on the kitchen floor, shaking. All I'd done was take care of them. All she'd done was show up, and somehow that was enough. That night, something broke inside me. I went to the dining room, pulled out Dad's whiskey, and sat in the dark. The clock ticked softly. And for the first time in my life, I said the words I'd never dared to say. I wish I'd never been the good one. That's when I made the decision. The next morning, I called a realtor. Sell it, I said. Quietly. I don't care how much. The house sold faster than I expected. A young couple bought it, newlyweds, bright-eyed, full of dreams. They loved the porch swing. They said it felt like home. I handed them the keys and smiled, feeling the weight of years lift off my shoulders. It wasn't joy, it was release. That Friday, I packed the last box and closed the door behind me.
No tears.
No turning back. 2 days later, Emily called again. Hey, Claire. Big news. I'm coming home. I talked to Mom and Dad's friends. They said they'd be so happy to see us in the old house again. I froze. She didn't know. I could have told her then. But instead, I just said, see you Sunday. At dinner that Sunday night, the table was set just like old times. Dad's chair still empty, Mom's silverware still polished. Emily was radiant, laughing, sipping wine, talking about how she'd decorate our home. Then she said it, the sentence that made my heart go still. MOM, and Dad promised I could move in with you. The clinking of forks stopped. Everyone looked at me, my aunt, my uncle, even the cousins who never cared. I picked up my glass, took a slow sip of water, and said quietly, that's awkward. I sold the house last Friday. The words hung there, sharp, cold, final. Emily's smile vanished. You what? She whispered. I sold it. It's gone. Her face drained of color. You can't. You didn't even ask me. No, I said. I didn't. She stood up, trembling. That was our home, Claire. Our parents' legacy. I looked at her for a long time. And then, for the first time in my life, I said what I truly felt.
No, Emily.
It was my prison. The room went silent. She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. And as it echoed through the house, I felt a strange, aching peace settle in my chest. That night, I went back one last time, to the empty blue house with the porch swing. The new owners hadn't moved in yet. I stood in the living room, listening to the hum of silence.
It was colder now.
But for the first time, it was mine. I whispered softly, Goodbye, Mom.
Goodbye, Dad.
And as I turned to leave, I noticed something taped to the wall. An old photo of Emily and me holding hands on the porch. On the back, in Dad's handwriting, it said, Whoever keeps the home, keep the heart too. I sat down on the empty floor and cried. Not for the house, not for Emily, but for the years I spent trying to earn a love that was already gone. When I finally stood, I left the picture there. For the new couple, maybe they'd fill it with the kind of love ours never had. As I walked out into the cool night air, I looked back one last time. The porch light flickered on motion sensor. For a moment, it almost felt like Mom was turning it on for me. One last time, to light my way out. And that's when I realized, sometimes letting go isn't losing. Sometimes it's the only way to be free.